Hi everybody, Bex here. It's Friday afternoon and I've been speaking to loads and loads of fabulous people this week, doing lots of discovery calls and helping people with some strategy and some ideas and that kind of thing in terms of growing their businesses. And there's been some key themes that have come up, so I'm going to do a couple of live videos to talk you all through what I've been explaining this week, because obviously if there's more than one person that thinks that's going to be valuable to them in their business, then it's likely that there's going to be quite a few others of you. Now forgive me, I know this stuff and have been working with it for years, and I kind of forget that people don't live in my head, and so they don't necessarily know what I know. So if you've heard some of this before, fantastic. Why aren't you using it? If you haven't heard any of this before and you like what you're hearing and you want to hear more, then come on over into our group or perhaps have a discovery call with me and we can work out how you can start using and implementing these ideas in your business. So, the key thing that people always say to me is that they want more clients. Now, yes, I talk to them about the type of clients that they want, and that's another video. We'll talk about that. But there's something that really helps to attract more clients if you kind of understand your sales funnel or a product ladder. It can be called sort of either. It gets called lots of different things. So I'm going to try and show you today in this very makeshift whiteboard scenario. As you can see, I don't sort of teach from home. I haven't taught in a classroom or workshop environment for a while. So we have a chair, a table on a chair, and a whiteboard propped up on a table on a chair. So we're going high tech, but hopefully high value too. So here's what I want you to think about with your businesses. So when you first, the whole sales process tends to hinge on, and it has done for years, this whole kind of know, like, trust, buy process. So you're not going to buy from somebody unless you know of them, and you're generally probably not going to have or put business in the way of somebody unless you at least like them and have some kind of trust relationship going on there. So this is all about relationship marketing. It's all about relationship building, and it's really kind of the thing that the majority of the people that I work with are looking for. They're not about kind of churning loads of crap out and don't care who buys it. They just want to sell and earn loads of money. Yes, we want to earn money, but we also want to do that with a little bit of dignity and also with a bit of authenticity. So a lot of the people that I work with are what I class purpose-driven entrepreneurs. They want to make a difference. They have something and a gift or a calling or some talent that they can bring to the world, and it will have massive benefits for lots of people. And so that's why they're trying to get their messages, their products, their services out there, is because they know that it can make a difference to people and they are wanting to make that difference and have that impact. So initially when people come across you, so we'll talk about visibility as a separate angle, but the first thing is all about visibility. I'm just going to try yes, Mother, I shouldn't have got rid of my whiteboard, should I? So the first part of it all is all about visibility, and we'll come visibility. Okay, so this starts up here, and it's all stars, and it's all sexy, and this is the other bit that we'll come to, and it can happen in lots of ways. And I also believe that this is possibly going to be, the writing is going to be round the wrong way. So if it is, what I will do is take a picture of this afterwards and post it in the comments below so you've got it. But the idea is people need to know of you before they can do any kind of interaction with you. And generally, visibility is a big issue for lots of small business owners, entrepreneurs, that kind of thing, because they don't realise that they are just not visible enough. The platforms that we're using, so things like Facebook, Twitter, everything moves so quickly. And also you're fighting against the algorithms that are set up to make those platforms money. They want people to advertise, so they're not going to show your organic stuff unless it's getting lots of likes, unless it's getting lots of activity and engagement. So we're fighting against that in the first instance. So yes, visibility is a thing in its own right, and it's generally something that people are just not being enough of. So they think that they've put a couple of posts out, oh, that's enough. We've been a bit conservative about that. So you really do need to get all over the place, and just kind of be as in your face as makes you feel uncomfortable, and then double it, because that's how in your face and how visible you need to be in order to get some attention. There's a hell of a lot of noise out there. You've got to be able to cut through all of that, and you've got to be able to get your message heard by the right people. So the first stage is giving people a way in which they can interact with you with no risk to them whatsoever, okay? So generally I find people are very risk averse. They don't like doing things outside of their comfort zones. There's probably only 2% of the population that are kind of like me, that like change, like a little bit of risk, and are quite happy to kind of go and explore and try new things. So you have got to provide them with a way in which they can interact with you, that they can get some kind of value for free or for a very, very small amount of money that they're not going to miss if their relationship or their interaction with you doesn't go any further, or it's no good. That's not going to be the case, because everything you do is going to be heavily value laden, but it just means that they have no risk whatsoever. So this is how the funnel starts to look, is that you want something in your business that looks a bit like this. It's a beautiful funnel, don't you think? And at the top level, we want to be getting the volume of people through. Okay, so this is all about volume up at this top end. It's all about as many people as possible who will know about you, like what you do, and we'll bring them through this process. So at this top end, you're going to be doing something, ideally something for nothing. Because if you give away a little bit of yourself, hopes are that the universe will repay you with some kind of payment or value exchange in return. And that might not just be cash. We have to be open to the fact that things can come our way, like opportunities, like connections that are valuable to us, but they're not necessarily something that is, you know, a cash exchange. So this exchange happens up here. So it might be that you actually run a Facebook group like I do. If you're not in my Facebook group and you want to come and join us, I'll pop the link below so you can. So a Facebook group where they can come and interact with you, get some value, that kind of thing, that helps them to understand whether they want to work with you, want to do your, buy your products, all of that kind of stuff. You could be giving away free content on your website. So things like journals. Oh, my pen's not going to work. You could be giving away guides on how to do stuff. We're a very information-driven society at the moment, especially since the internet kind of came about. It's all about information. It's the internet of information. That's going to be changing slightly in the future, mark my words, because we're looking for more. But to start with, we're looking about information. Most people, when they're buying things, will be either searching for solutions, searching for information and researching. So if you can find a way in which you can get in front of those people with this kind of stuff, then it really works. So things like challenges. So people are trying to lose weight, if they're trying to build their business, if they're trying to do something, a challenge is always a really good way to do it, because it does actually bring them through this process quite quickly. And the other thing, and this is something that I do, is I like to speak to people, because I want to know whether I want to work with them, the same as they want to see whether they want to work with me. And so basically things like consultations, that kind of stuff. So I do this a lot. So I talk to people, I give them my time for free so that I can get to understand them, give them some value, and then what happens is, when they have a need further down their journey with me, they think of me when they have that need. So they might not be ready for me yet. Some of them will be ready for me straight away, but that just means that they know of me. They've already had some dealings with me, and it makes it easier for me to then move them through this process. So the next level is relatively low cost to them, but it's still high value. So what you're going to do here is, again, depending on who your market are and what it is that you do, is provide something here that is going to be of, as I say, not a huge amount of cost, but it's still of high value for those. So it might be resources, it might be a course, a short course, a masterclass. It might be, what else could it be? A paid for group even. But this is going to be unlimited people coming in here, lots of people coming in here. So you can have unlimited people in here. So that you sort of create something once, sell it lots and lots and lots of times. So this is unlimited people. Up here, this could be webinars, things like that. Membership sites, these are a biggie. So again, bringing people together for a common purpose. So there's lots of things that you can think of in these various different categories. Don't let me limit it for you. So this is unlimited people. So you can serve as many people as possible at this lower end, okay? And it's low cost, but when you've got that volume, it's still bringing a nice amount of income in for you to work with every month, okay? So then next level down gets a little bit more expensive, and it's for it's more intimate in terms of the number of people that you serve. So for me here, this is my sisterhood group. It's like a mastermind. Could be workshops. Again, courses. This is mostly for kind of service-based businesses, but if you've got products, this works the same way because you can package things together. It might be that you've got a paid-for program that you run people through to help them. But again, the idea here is that, you know, it's slightly more expensive, but it's more intimate. There's more value, there's more substance to it than sort of this level here. It doesn't necessarily mean that there needs to be more of you in it physically, and ideally, if you're looking to build a leveraged business, and we'll talk about that in a second, then yes, you want as much of this to be something that you can create and pass on without you physically having to be there all of the time. And the reason for that is, if you are the value in your business and something happens to you, you don't have a business. So you don't have anything to pass on, you don't have a legacy, you don't have something that's going to keep you paid if you're poorly and can't work, or if, you know, you want to have the summer off, those kind of things. You need to have a look at ways of leveraging your knowledge, your business, your services, so that you have time for yourself, so you're not working yourself silly all the time, but you do have regular reoccurring income coming in, okay? And then when we get down to the bottom, this is our like most intimate level. So this will be sort of 1 or 2 people. Look, this is me drawing people. I'm very good at this. So this is lots and lots of people up here. You can serve as many people at a slightly lower level. Okay? And we'll have 4 in here. How's that? See? Tony Hart be turning in his grave, bless him. But down here, this is where we get to sort of like the bigger money. So this will be like where you're working one-to-one with somebody, or perhaps going on retreats with 1 or 2 people. But this is where kind of the most intimate level works. So this is a good idea for a sales funnel for you guys, or product ladder again. And once you know this, it means that you're more easily able to push people through your sales process. Not everybody will come in and go, right, I'm going to go to here, then to here, then to here, then to here. Some people will come from here and go straight into here. But what you don't want to be doing is desperately, desperately trying to book people into one-to-ones, or into your high-level programs, or into your business where it takes up a huge amount of your time and your effort, when you could be serving lots and lots of people in an easier way. My motto is always to make things as uncomplicated as possible. So let's find different routes for people that are going to be versions of what you do. Now, when I'm talking to people down here in my one-to-ones and retreats and that kind of stuff, I'm not teaching them or talking to them anything differently about what goes into here. It's all the same stuff, but the way that we work together is different. And I know that's me because it's a service-based business, but it can work along whatever lines you have for your business. So however you want to spend your time, however you want to spend your days, you can find a way to provide whatever it is that you do in a leveraged way so that you can actually get on with living your life. So you're not working constantly. Okay? So hopefully this has been useful for a handful of you at least that I've been talking to over the last couple of days, is to get an idea of what you're actually offering and at what levels they are in terms of income generators for you, but also in terms of time and effort for you. Is there something that you can create once and sell lots of times over, or are you creating things that have to have you over and over again, but they're not bringing you in an awful lot of income? You need to shift your model slightly so that your time, because your time is so precious, that is your biggest, most wonderful resource, because it is so limited. We are only here on earth for a certain period of time, and we need to use that time really wisely. So if you're not using it wisely, you're likely to hit a wall and burn out. You will limit yourself as to how many people you can serve and how many people you can actually have and work with at any one time. So you're going to limit the amount of income that you can bring in. So let's have multiple income streams at multiple different levels as easily as possible to help support your business, so that if you're not feeling like you're ready to do one-to-ones, or you have some time off because you've not been very well, you've still got income coming into your business. You're still able to serve in some way, shape or form. Okay? So if you've got any questions, then please do ask. If you'd love to come and join and get more kind of this value, come and join my group, because that's what we're talking about all the time. I set little challenges, I ask little questions, loads and loads of resources in there for you to use for your business. And yes, Mother, I've never been left-handed. It's because of the way that the camera works with these, unfortunately. So yes, I'm not left-handed, I am right-handed. You're just looking at it a different way. So that's it for me. I'm going to go and pick the kids up from school and then get on with having a lovely weekend. So you guys have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you all again next week.